What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well out there. I wanted to come out here and talk about DUIs and alcoholism and all of that because my most popular video on this channel is one I made shortly after I got my DUI. And it still gets views to this day, even though it's 8 years old. And I still have people showing up in the comments that have just recently got one. And they're freaking out, they're struggling. And I wanted to make a video about how to improve yourself after you get your DUI, because the whole purpose of a DUI is to traumatize you. Going to jail is supposed to be traumatizing. The way that officers treat you in jail is supposed to be traumatizing. The way they take your car and put it in some wreck yard, that's supposed to be traumatizing. Taking your driver's license is supposed to be traumatizing. Maybe you lose your job, that's supposed to be traumatizing. It's supposed to be that way. Okay, it's something that is so easy to correct, but so difficult to get through your head that you need to correct, that in order for you to make that correction, they have to give you a traumatizing experience. Now, if you've just recently gotten a DUI, I remember when I got mine. They took me into jail. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I thought they were going to let me leave. But, I'm sitting in the lobby. I'm waiting. I'm not sure what's going to happen. They take me in to see some nurse. Then they take me in another room, make me strip naked, give me an orange suit. Now I'm in jail. But then they finally give me a phone call. I could have either called my girlfriend or my mom, but me and my girlfriend had gotten in a fight the day before and I broke up with her, so I decided to call my mom. And it was embarrassing, being an adult and calling your mom to call a bail bondsman and get you out of jail. Got out of jail. Realized I was going to have to pay like $400 just to get my car, and I didn't have a license, and they wouldn't give me the car until I had an ID, so I have to jump through hoops to get my car back. Terrible situation. I get a lawyer. I find out I'm going to end up having to pay, close to $10,000. I go to court. I go through all the courses, all the group meetings, and all the things they had me do. Which, by the way, it wasn't a terrible experience. Going to those meetings and meeting all those people, it kind of grows on you after a while. It's not such a bad experience. You go there and you're with all the people that have the addictions and the Alcohol Anonymous and all that. There's a lot of people out there that are decent people, but they're struggling with alcoholism, and you get to meet them, and I don't know, it's not a bad experience really. Once you start to get into it. But anyways, after it's all said and done, they give you a call, and depending on where you live, I think pretty much every state in the United States nowadays is going to have you put the interlock device on your car. Sorry, the wind's coming in pretty bad. Hope it's not messing with the mic too much, but they're probably going to have you put an interlock device on your car, so you're going to have to breathe into a breathalyzer every time you start your car. And for me, if I ate too much bread, like one time I was eating a slice of pizza and it blew as a fail. So they're kind of wonky, and that experience kind of sucks. And if you fail it, you might get locked out on the road, and then you got to call the company to come, or you got to get towed to the company and they have to reset it. Sucks. But after it's all said and done, here's what you have to understand. If you're somebody that drinks a lot, and if you're drinking and driving, you probably have a problem. Some people are just casual drinkers, but they're responsible enough to say, well, if I'm drinking, I'm not going to drive. Maybe I'll stay home and drink, or maybe we'll Uber, whatever it may be, have a designated driver. But, a lot of people have a problem. And they don't even know they have a problem. And every weekend they're going out and they're partying and they're drinking and they're driving. And the problem isn't just the drinking and driving. At least for me, it wasn't. You know, pretty much every fight I've been in as an adult involved alcohol. Most of the arguments I've had with girlfriends involved alcohol. You know, waking up and just the most random shit happening and just realizing, like, shit, like, you know, I fucked something up again. Well, pretty much 90% of the time when I screwed something up, I was drunk when I did it. And the best part about the traumatizing effect of the DUI was that I legitimately didn't want to drink anymore after getting the DUI. And still to this day, I don't like to drink. I'll buy a six-pack, like maybe once a month I'll buy a six-pack. And it'll be on an evening, on like a Friday night, and I'll force myself to drink one or two. But I don't really like it. You know, I kind of cringe when I look at the alcohol. So I know I'm at a point now where drinking irresponsibly is completely out of the question. You know, it's almost like I have PTSD when I look at alcohol. And that's probably what's going to happen to most of you that get a DUI. One thing that's important to understand, though, you know, if you're somebody that's freaking out, just understand that, you know, you'll get better, you'll improve through this situation, and it's one step at a time. You know, you pay $100 to go to your first meeting, $100 to go to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and then $100 more to go. It's, you know, it's once a month or so you're going to one thing, so it's one step at a time. It's not like they hit you with everything at the same time, so you'll get through it. Don't worry about that. But after it's all said and done, you know, if you reach a point where you look at alcohol and you just don't even want it anymore, that's a victory. You know, you're going to improve your life quite a bit. And, you know, something that you should also take into consideration, if the only thing that happened was you just got a DUI and nobody died or anything like that, you know, you made it out pretty good. Because when I was about 20 years old, I was at a party. Me and a bunch of my friends had went to a party, and we were about to get in the car, a few carloads of people, and we were going to go to a different party. And I hopped in this girl's car, and, you know, we were all waiting. We were all like talking to each other and figuring out what we were going to do and, you know, what the plan was. I got out of her car and ended up getting in somebody else's car. And on our way to the party, that girl in her car ended up hitting a man on the highway. He was crossing the highway in the middle of the night, and she hit him and tore him apart. He had just gotten out of the hospital. He was on pain medication. She hit him, and it was over. She pulled into an apartment complex, and, you know, the guy, like, parts were all, I don't want to get into that, but this was a 20-year-old girl, and her whole life was ruined, and the man she hit, his life was taken away. You know, so if the worst thing that happened was you got pulled over and you went to jail and you pay a bunch of money, you got a misdemeanor for a few years or whatever, hey, take the hit, but allow the stress to turn you into a better person, because that's what it's all about. That's why it's so traumatic to begin with. And, you know, just understand you'll get through it. Learn your lesson, and you'll be just fine. You know, it also got me back into church. Immediately when I got out of jail, the very first Sunday, I was like, you know what? I hadn't been through this bad of an experience as an adult I can't think of a worse experience than this, so, you know, maybe it's a sign I should get back into church. I started going to church again, you know, and I was around positive, uplifting people, and my life changed for the better in every way imaginable. I improved financially, even though I lost my job. I improved with, I didn't realize I had an alcohol addiction, but evidently if I'm drinking every weekend and I'm drinking and driving, I have a problem. But it helped me with that. You know, it helped me grow up and just make better decisions overall. It changed me. You know, and if you're somebody that's just recently got a DUI, I think that'll do the same for you. You know, go through the process the way you're supposed to and come out a better person. But hey guys, I'm in your corner. I've been through it. It sucks. But it would be a lot worse for you and for somebody else's family, or for your family, if somebody would have ended up getting taken out. You know, so you're fortunate that didn't happen. Hope this video was somewhat informative. But that's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.